Hello, this is Miho. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So, I'm recording this in Canada, and today's topic is to be who you are, and that will change yourself for the better. So, what I mean by is that in order to change yourself, if you have the wish to change yourself for the better, to live the best version of you. You want to get out of the situation that you're facing, or you want to improve yourself, or you want to have the better life, right? And you do, find out different tools or different thought process, different courses, and you learn. But somehow it just wouldn't have that enough push to, literally change your lifestyle or your thought process or your mindset. And you wonder why, right? Because you invested your time and money and you learn so much and, you make an effort, but somehow it's just not cutting it, right? And you get frustrated and it's still kind of heavy, right? So when it comes down to is the core of yourself, who you really are, to be true to yourself. And when you live that space, or when you say, align yourself to the core of yourself to be who you are, that's where your energy is. That's where you get a lot of intuition and gut feelings and all the miracles, occurs because you're, aligned with who you are, your actual personality or soul. And because when you were growing up, maybe your parents taught you a certain way to live, or you put the railing in front of you to walk on top of that, that leads to the safety or certain values that they put on, which might not, suit yours. But as a child, you're so pure, you just accept what it is. You just accept, all the ideas. And then that will become your beliefs, which you believe to be that's the truth of your life. But later on, you find out that the belief that you built over the years might not really serving anything for you. So you need to really internalize yourself, like what kind of belief you have. Are you still holding on to the belief that no longer serving you? And you need to let that go. And as long as you're holding on those old beliefs, you are choking yourself in a way that you're pulling yourself down. That's why you feel like stuck. You feel like you can't really go forward because what you wanted to do is something new compared to those old beliefs. So that you need to let that go. And in order to know what to let go, you need to focus and you need to know what it is. So in order to find that out, you need to internalize yourself to see what's holding you. And it might help you to write it down, the journaling, or it might come across something really hit you, oh, that's the belief that I was holding on to, which you no longer need. And you don't need to blame the others because those people who gave you the ideas, say when you're growing up, they think or they thought at a time that's their best knowledge. Maybe they have no idea what else is available. And they were taught in a certain ways, and that's what they believed for. That's why, they passed it on to you, thinking that's the best thing for you. But for you, might not be the best thing. And I had lots of those. But as a child, you just don't know. You absorb it. And then later on, you start to compare things. You start to see different values out there, and then you say to yourself, I don't want this. Then parents force you to do certain values, and then you start to fight, right? Or it's so much pressure that you hold it in, and it's just, so much pressure that crush you, right? So just release all those old beliefs that no longer serving you. And then you become so much freer to do what you really wanted to do. And that becomes, alignment to yourself, who you really are, which could be so different from parents' point of view or, the friend's point of view. And it does change, the way other people see you because you've internally changed. But that's okay because people do grow. No one stays the same. It just they don't grow as much as maybe you have, so that it doesn't show the huge difference or gap. But because you want to change, you want to let go of all those beliefs, that's why you feel advancing so fast compared to what's happening around you. And that's totally fine. And it's a thing to celebrate because you're doing something good for yourself. So, and you learn as you go that you internalize yourself to find who you really are, and then always live from that space. And so you have this comfortable zone of yourself, so that you have the access to that source energy, and you activate who you really are, which has a lot of potentials. And that's where you feel so comfortable, and you do a lot of things you could create a lot of things, because now you're really alignment with who you really are. That's where the power is. That's where you have access to all kinds of talents that you have. If you're far away from your core, you're almost like living for somebody else. You're not living your life, and you feel so much gap in between that you feel lost as to who you are, what you're here for, or why am I doing this kind of feeling, right? So that internalize yourself and see, what you really wanted to do, who you really are, right? To explore and let go of all those old beliefs. And I have tons of those that I was, brought up, while from my childhood to the teenage years and adult life. So I had so many of the beliefs that I built over the years, and now I'm releasing those old beliefs, let go of these things. And then, even though I'm not totally clear, you feel the difference. You feel so much lighter, so you get more energetic, and your health gets better. Your finance, you get to manage much better, and your day gets so much better, and you can use your time much better. You start to see the world in a different point of view, much lighter point of view. And a lot of things used to bother you don't bother you anymore, because you now have the tools to look at it from the different point of view, and you start to connect with people who have like similar point of view of yours. So like attracts like. This is so much to be said, that as long as you keep going up, you attract people who are like-minded. So it helps each other. When people are together, like-minded, they, stimulate each other in a good way, right? Versus when you are in a bad circle, they attract each other and influence each other in that bad way as well. So you really have the choice where you want to head at, and that's your choice too. No one is forcing you. That's your choice. You use that, your intuition, your good feelings. And then when you become close to who you are, or when you live who you are, life gets much easier. Life gets so much lighter and comfortable, and you can explore yourself. You're much energetic, and things gets easier so that you start to explore more, and you have more room to care for the others. And then you learn so much more as well, because there's less and less things that bothers you to take or occupy your time of the day. And the relationship gets improved because now you have the viewpoints of separating, putting the boundary in between people you might not want to associate too much with, even though this is a family member, and you understand how much you give in, and how much you have the boundary, so that you feel good about this distance and limitations that you set, and you spend more time doing something that you like and productive, and the people you spend the most time with are nice and positive and energetic. So you get a good influence from that too, and you get more energized because you're so much in alignment with yourself. And a lot of problems or issues that come up and thrown at you, you can manage much better and solve things so much faster, because you now have access to those helpers like intuitions and gut feelings and all that can play in, or you get the help from those. It's still there, always there, but when you're away from yourself, it's less and less of the access to those, the helps. When you're in alignment with yourself, you're right there, the source of energy, and you can create a lot of things much easier, and you can build the life the way you like, in your own terms. So when you live there, who you really are, things start to run really smoothly, and you can start to elevate yourself much faster. And that's a good spot as well. So when you learn something, it really gets right in you, instead of like, I've done this but nothing really changed, and it gets frustrated because you're not really fully to the alignment of yourself, fully to who you really are. So work on that part constantly, and let go of all the old beliefs, just little by little. I have tons of those. I'm still doing it, about the relationship, about the health, about the the money, or what else is there, how to do things, something new, or adventurous things. So always something come up, and then your new vision will be supported by your new beliefs. So when you interchange your belief system to new, and that's when you feel the big change. I hope help some ways to think in a better way of changing yourself and changing your life. And it's possible for every one of them. It's just the way you put things together. And when you feel really down, like, of course everybody feel those days. It's just the way you look at things, and you spend more time internalize yourself, and then focus and actually face with what's the core thing that you really wanted to do, and clarify all those clouds inside of you, and let go of the old beliefs. Hope this helps, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.